Tony Carne of Urban Adventures. How are you?
Very well, very well. Nice to be here.
Basically, you started off, as a travel guide years ago, and it's more or less blossomed into what you've been doing, right?
That's it. So I started as a tour guide over 12 years ago. Was lucky enough to fall in some really great jobs. Worked as a wilderness guide out in Central Australia. Was always been a traveller, always had that kind of travel mentality of work a year, go travelling for a year. It's always kind of been my life, and was always looking for that way to make travel a full-time thing for myself.
I love how you kind of glossed over it for a second, just going through the details. I was a wilderness guy in Central Australia for a while. I mean, that's like the outback. You were Crocodile Dundee, right?
Negative.
Real life.
I did wear a crappy hat, and look, we sleep out under the stars. You're out in a swag, and I drove a 4-wheel drive, and we drove through rivers, and it was cool. It was out there. You're doing some really interesting stuff, and it was kind of mobile phones didn't work out there, so you're really on your own, and if things go wrong, you've got to sort it out and have the training to be able to react properly when things go wrong.
Talk about what you loved about being a tour guide, that interaction and connection with travelers that you love so much, and then led you to kind of do what you do.
As a kind of independent traveller, I wasn't the type of person that would do a group tour, so it's kind of ironic that you end up leading them. And now I've actually come 360 on it, and I don't want that superficial experience. So, when I was a tour guide, I wanted to give people everything. I wanted to make sure that they left loving the place that I'd shown them around. The essence of hospitality is to just want to give, and want to give so that people reflect positively on their experience. And probably more interestingly than Central Australia, but being a tour guide in Egypt, you get people turning up with kind of weird preconceptions, misconceptions even about what the place is going to be like, what the people are going to be like, and Cairo, 20 million, big city, crazy, pushy, it can be all these things, but when you actually get under the skin of it and the people there, they actually care about you more than anything else in the world. And on numerous occasions, because it's quite a night owl place, I'd be wandering home to my house at 2 o'clock in the morning, and people would come up to me, a group of guys would come up to me and just make sure I'm okay. Oh, do you know where you're going? You look lost, and just make sure that you're cool. Can we get you a taxi? It wasn't like you're going to get... There's never been a safer place on the planet, and I think that's something that a tour guide can teach someone who's there only for a short period. And that's what I particularly love about the guiding process, is that you can show people the right way really quickly, and even if they are independent travellers, I guess what we do now with Urban Adventures is we get people, and we only have them for 4 hours, 6 hours, maybe 8 hours in the day. If they're smart enough to come with us on day one, we'll give them the tools and the tips that they need if they're there for another 2 or 3 days to actually enjoy their independent travel more than they would have anyway. The way in Egypt is that the people are a mirror to you. So when you get frustrated, they mirror that back to you. When you're happy and smiley, they mirror it back to you. And I guess, with Urban Adventures, what we want to do is get people into that happy, smiley place and build their own confidence so that they can go out by themselves and engage in a city with the tips and tools that we've given them, so that second, third, fourth day they're in that town is as amazing as the time that they had with us, thanks to the knowledge that we imparted with them. And that's essentially what Urban Adventures is all about.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. I mean, I've gotten all over the world just by smiling. Yeah. Learn how to say hello, please, thank you, and beer, and smile, and you're good.
That's it. Yeah. Wine's good too. I'm not fussy. Yeah.
Mr. Carne, thanks for hanging out.
No worries. Thanks,
nice to meet you.
Good on your pogo. Cheers.